Good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss the basic signals in signals and systems. There are few basic signals in our signals and systems. The first one is unit step signal. The second one, unit ramp signal. The third one is unit parabolic signal. Fourth one, impulse. Fifth one, rectangular signal. Sixth one, signum signal. Seventh one, triangular signal. Eighth one, sinusoidal. Ninth one, sync signal. 10th one, Gaussian. 11th one, real exponential. And the 12th one is complex exponential. And now we are going to represent all those 12 signals both in continuous and discrete cases. Now we are going to cover one by one. Here the first one is unit step signal. The unit step signal is defined with u of t. The u of t is equal to 1 if t is greater than or equal to 0 and the u of t is equal to 0, then t is less than 0. And what is mean that the corresponding unit step signal, the amplitude is equal to 1 for t value is greater than or equal to 0. That means that whenever the t is greater than or equal to 0 means that 0 to infinity, if the t value starting from 0 and ended towards the infinity, the corresponding amplitude is always 1. Whenever the t is less than 0, that means that minus 1, minus 2 and so on, minus infinity towards the minus side, the corresponding amplitude is 0. And here I am going to draw the unit step signal as, here the x-axis is t and the y-axis is u of t. And now the amplitude is 1 from 0 to infinity. This is plus infinity. This is minus infinity. So whenever the t value is greater than or equal to 0, the corresponding signal amplitude is 1 and less than 0, the amplitude is 0 only. And this is a continuous time signal. In case of discrete case, the formula will be like u of n is equal to 1 if n is greater than or equal to 0 and the u of n is 0 if n is less than 0. And now we can represent the same unit step continuous time signal in our discrete case as 0, 1, 2 up to infinity, minus 1, minus 2 up to minus infinity. So here the y-axis is now is u of n and the corresponding amplitude is 1 only. Now we can represent the same unit step continuous. Now we can represent the same u of t in the discrete case as, so this is the representation of the corresponding continuous unit step signal in discrete case. The second one is unit ramp signal. This unit ramp signal is defined with R of t. R of t is equal to t for t is greater than or equal to 0, 0 if t is less than 0. So what is mean that the corresponding ramp signal amplitude is the same value, the same t for t if t is greater than or equal to 0. For t is less than 0, the corresponding amplitude is 0. And now if I draw this ramp signal, here the x-axis is t and the y-axis is r of t, and the positive side 0, 1 up to plus infinity, minus 1, minus 2 up to minus infinity. So as per our second condition, if t is less than 0, the amplitude is 0, and whenever the t value is greater than or equal to 0, then the amplitude is the same. What is the t value? The same t is considered as the amplitude of r of d whenever the t is greater than or equal to 0. So now if t is 0, then r of t is also 0. Whenever the t is equal to 1, the r of t is also 1. Whenever the t equal to 2, then the r of t is also 2. And now the r of t as a straight line from the origin, and this straight line will ends at the infinity. And now we can represent this corresponding continuous time ramp signal in discrete case as here the n, and in case of discrete signal the ramp signal is indicated the r of n. Now up to infinity. So whenever the corresponding signal is 0, n value is 0, 0, and if whenever n equal to 1, then r of n is equal to 1. If n equal to 2, then the r of n is 2, and n equal to 3, r of n is 3. So this is the way we can represent the r of t and r of n. So this is the continuous time signal, and this is a discrete time ramp signal, and we can define the discrete ramp signal as r of n is equal to n for n greater than or equal to 0, 0, n less than 0. So this is the representation of the discrete ramp signal. The third one, unit parabolic. Unit parabolic signal. So in case of continuous case, the parabolic signal is indicated with p of t. So simply the parabolic signal is defined with p of t, and the corresponding p of t is nothing but a t square by 2 for t is greater than or equal to 0, and 0 for t is less than 0. And we can represent the corresponding signal in the continuous case as here x-axis is t, y-axis is p of t, and the corresponding values are 0, 1 to up to infinity. So for t is less than 0, the amplitude is 0, and whenever the t is greater than 0, the corresponding amplitude value will be, the corresponding t value will be substituted in the formula to get the amplitude of parabolic signal. So let us consider if t equal to 0, then substitute in the formula, we get the p of t is 0 only. And if t equal to 1, then substitute in the formula 1 square by 2 is 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is equal to 0.5. And if you substitute the t equal to 2, then 2 square by 2 is equal to 2. So now I just draw the parabolic signal as so here this is at one position, at 1 we get the amplitude is 0.5, and at 2 the corresponding amplitude is 2 only. So this is the parabolic signal in our continuous case. In case of discrete, the parabolic signal is defined with p of n, and now the formula for parabolic signal is n square by 2, 0, and the corresponding amplitude is n square by 2 for n is greater than or equal to 0, and 0 if n is less than 0. And I'm going to draw the the parabolic signal in discrete is, so whenever you just take care that whenever if you represent the discrete signal, then we have to replace the corresponding t value t by a small n. So here wherever we have a t, the small t will be replaced by small n value 0, 1, 2 up to infinity. So whenever 0 n equal to 0 and this is 1, 2, and if n equal to 1, the corresponding amplitude is 0.5, and if n equal to 2, the amplitude is 2 only. If n equal to 3, then substitute 3 value is here, 3 square by 2. The 3 square by 2 means 9 by 2, it is equal to 4.5. The corresponding value is 4.5. So it slightly bends like this. So these are the two. So this is a representation of a parabolic signal in discrete case. The fourth one is unit impulse signal. Unit impulse. The unit impulse signal is indicated with del of t function. So here the del of t is equal to 1 for t is equal to 0, 0 for t is not equal to 0. And we can represent this del of t in a graphical representation as, so here the y-axis is del of t, x-axis is t, 0, 1, 2 and so on, plus infinity, minus 1, minus 2 and so on, minus infinity. So here as per our expression, the del of t function is equal to 1 whenever the t equal to 0. So here I just put the 1. So whenever the t equal to 0, then we get 1, and if t is not equal to 0, then the signal is equal to 0 only. The signal is equal to 0. So this signal will be represented in both continuous and discrete in the same fashion. Next, the fifth one is rectangular signal. The rectangular signal is indicated with pi of t, and this pi of t is nothing but 1 if mod t is less than or equal to, if mod t is less than or equal to 1 by 2, 0 if mod t is greater than 1 by 2. What is mean that? Here the mod t is nothing but plus or minus t. It means that the corresponding t value must be in between minus 1 by 2 and plus 1 by 2. If the t value is in between minus 1 by 2 to plus 1 by 2, then the corresponding rectangular signal amplitude value is 1. If it is greater than 1 by 2, then the value is 0. And the signal is, here the values are minus 1 by 2, plus 1 by 2. So if the t value in between minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, then the amplitude is equal to 1. And if it is greater than minus 1 by 2 or plus 1 by 2, the amplitude is 0 only. This is the rectangular signal. In case of discrete, we can represent as minus 1 by 2, 0, plus 1 by 2. This is n. This is pi of n. So this is the way we can represent in discrete case. And the sixth one is triangular signal. Triangular signal. This triangular signal is defined with del A of t. So here delta A of t is equal to 1 minus mod t by A, then mod t is less than or equal to A, 0 if mod t is greater than or equal to A. What is mean that the corresponding triangular signal amplitude is 1 minus mod t by A, and for if the corresponding t value is in between minus A to plus A. Whenever the t is greater than minus A or plus A, then amplitude becomes 0. Here I draw the triangular signal t delta A of t, and whenever the amplitudes minus A plus A. So if the t is in between minus A to plus A, the amplitudes are 1 minus mod t by A. Here the maximum amplitude is 1. And if the t value is if the t value is greater than minus A as well as greater than plus A is 0. And now we can represent the triangular signal in discrete case as zero. At the 0 position we get the 1. So in this way we can represent the triangular signal in discrete. The next one is signum function or signum signal. This signum signal is defined with SGN of t. The SGN of t is equal to 1 for t is greater than 0, 0 for t is equal to 0, 1, sorry, minus 1 for t is less than 0. And we can represent the signum function in graphical way as t SGN of t, and here 0 to plus infinity, and this is minus infinity. Whenever the 0, the amplitude is 0, and greater than 0, then the corresponding t is greater than 0, then the amplitude is plus 1. If it is less than 0, if t is less than 0, the amplitude is minus 1. And we can represent the same signum function in discrete case as, so this is plus 1 minus 1. In our discrete case, the same signum function will be draw as 0, plus infinity and minus infinity. So the value 0, so here the amplitudes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. The amplitude is 1, and here the amplitude is minus 1 in case of minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on. So in this way we can represent the signum function in discrete case. The next one is sinusoidal signal. The sinusoidal signal is defined with sine of omega t plus phi. So here the phi is phase angle and the omega is a frequency and this t is a time, and depends upon the phase angle the given signal either may be a sine signal or cosine signal, and the corresponding sinusoidal signal will be drawn as so here the value is 0 plus 1 minus 1. So this is the sine cosine signal. Next one, we can also represent this signal in discrete case as x of n and n. We can represent this is in discrete case as this one. Sorry. So in this fashion, we can represent the sinusoidal signal. The ninth one is sync signal. The ninth one is sync signal. This signal is defined with sync of t. The sync of t is equal to sine t by t, for the t value is varies in between minus infinity to plus infinity. So this sync signal is drawn as so at the center point the sync signal amplitude is high. Whenever if you away from the center point the amplitude of the signal will be reduced. At one position the corresponding amplitude will be 0 at infinity time. The next one is Gaussian signal, and this Gaussian signal is defined as Ga of t is equal to the Ga of t is equal to e power minus at square, for the t value is starting from minus infinity to plus infinity, and this signal is represented as so at the center point the value is high, and if away from the center point the corresponding value will become 0. And the next one is real exponential signal. real exponential. Here, the real exponential signal is defined as a into e power minus at. So here, if I consider a is equal to 1, then we can rewrite this equation as e power minus at. And depends upon the small a value, the corresponding signal will be slightly changes. If small a is equal to 0, then we can generate the DC signal. With the amplitude A. So here I consider 1. So if I consider A equal to 1, so the corresponding DC signal amplitude is equal to 1. And if A is less than 0, then if A is less than 0, then we get exponentially decaying signal. And this crossing point is equal to A, and in our example A equal to 1, so this crossing point is 1. So whenever the small a value is less than 0, that means that minus 1, minus 2 and so on, then we get exponentially decaying signal. In the third case, if a is greater than 0, then we get exponentially growing signal. The corresponding crossing point again a. So in our case a equal to 1. So the corresponding signal is crosses at the position a. So this is the signal exponentially growing signal. So this is the center point 0. These are the time positions plus infinity to minus infinity. So here in this case, if a equal to 0, we can generate the DC signal, and if small a is less than 0, we can generate the exponentially decaying signal, and if a is greater than 0, we can generate exponentially growing signal. And the next one is complex exponential signal. Complex exponential signal. Here, the complex exponential signal is defined with e power minus st. The complex exponential signal is defined with e power minus st. So now e power minus st equal to x of t. So here s is a complex value. So we consider s equal to sigma plus j omega. Here the sigma is a real term and omega is a imaginary term. If we substitute s equal to sigma plus j omega in this equation, we get x of t is e power minus of sigma plus j omega into t, and it is equivalent to e power minus sigma t into e power minus j omega t. So here the two signals are multiply each other. One is the real term signal and the second one is the imaginary term signal, and we get the product of the output of the complex exponential signal is the product of these two signals. And now we can draw the signals as if the first case is, in the first case, if the j omega equal to 0, what is mean that if the imaginary term, if the imaginary term is becomes 0, then what is the signal? If what is the formula? X of t equal to e power minus sigma t. Now how many signals we can generate? Depends upon the sigma, as just like our real exponential signal. Depends upon the sigma value, we can generate three different signals if j omega equal to 0. So here t, x of t, if sigma equal to 0. So if sigma equal to 0, we get a DC signal. And if and if and if sigma is less than 0, then we get exponentially decaying signal. Exponentially decaying signal. If sigma is greater than 0, then we get exponentially growing signal. We get exponentially growing signal. So here 0, 0, and these crossing points are 1, 1. So these are the three different signals we can generate if j omega equal to 0, and by considering sigma values 0, sigma less than 0 and greater than 0 conditions. And in second case, if the imaginary term j omega is present, whatever the omega value, if j omega is present, then the given signal is e power minus of sigma plus j omega into t. So in this case, the first one, if we consider sigma equal to 0, that means that if the real term is absent, then we get a oscillation, sinusoidal oscillation. We get a sinusoidal oscillations. And next one, if sigma is less than 0, if sigma is less than 0, we get the exponentially decaying sinusoidal oscillations. Exponentially decaying sinusoidal signal. If sigma is greater than 0, then we get exponentially growing sinusoidal signal. Exponentially growing sinusoidal signal. So these are the three different signals are generated if j omega is present. Depends upon the corresponding sigma values are 0, less than 0 and the greater than 0 conditions. Thank you.